when confronted with problems like this, like of the scale like this, I think so many people kind of see that and they're like, well, why even bother?
Right.
My contribution is so small, it's not even going to make a dent. But I think, the thing that people forget is like, yes, this world is vast. Yes, these problems are large, but they're still finite.
Mm-hmm.
And so you picking up that one piece of trash, you recycling that one aluminum can, that's actually eating away at the problem.
Sure.
In a real tangible way. Hey friend, and welcome to this episode of the New Humans for New Earth podcast. I'm Queenie, your host. And on this podcast, we discuss the great transition into New Earth that we are all living through today. Here, we introduce you to wisdom, perspectives, and information to support and inspire you in making more aligned choices in your life. We're here to co-create New Earth. So let's talk about it. Today, I'm joined by Nicky Eddy, better known as Portland's very own Trash Witch. You may have seen him at Portland Pedalpalooza rides, taper dance events, or even just picking up trash on local hiking trails. Nicky is here today to talk with us about his Trash Witch project, as well as to share his passion for trash and the aluminum can. Please join me in giving a warm New Humans welcome to Nicky. Before we dive into this episode, thank you for taking a moment to hit subscribe wherever you're listening to this podcast. In this moment of great transition, messages of hope, love, kindness, compassion, and unity, and stories about people who are helping to build a better future are so important. Hitting subscribe is a free and easy way to help this podcast reach others like you who are here to help co-create New Earth. From my heart to yours, thank you. Thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're like kind of a local Portland celebrity, actually. I'm not sure if you identify that way, but I'm just gonna tell you you totally are. So thank you for gracing us with your presence.
Oh, you're so welcome.
For anyone who's not sort of familiar with you and your Trash Witch persona, service, whatever you want to call it, tell us what you do. Tell us what your services are. Tell us about your offerings.
So Trash Witch is, I guess, this character, that I play sometimes. The main things I do is offer recycling for community events that don't usually have that sort of infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
Primarily, it's the Pedalpalooza bike rides.
Yeah. So
I have a little fold-up bike with a big trailer on the end, and I collect everyone's, cans and bottles as they're used. That's one kind of half of it. The other half I do just litter cleanup in different places in Portland. I also use some of the stuff that I find to make art and jewelry and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the kind of full circle, I guess. It's a little bit of everything.
Yeah, the unifying theme or thread seems to be litter, right, or trash. But then I also love. I mean, I've seen some of your art. It's really cool, actually. You've been doing this thing recently where you're doing almost stained glass kind of stuff out of the cans. Oh my gosh, it's really neat. And I love too just the Pedalpalooza type, with your trailer, because with events like that, they inherently can't have stationary cans because they're moving. I mean, for anyone who doesn't know what Pedalpalooza is, right? It's it's a bike event.
Yes.
It's moving. The whole point of it is for this whole crowd of bikes to be moving through the city. So yeah, I mean, that creates this logistical problem of how do we help people manage their trash.
Sure.
Yeah. And so you've come up with this really neat solution to that problem.
I mean, I like doing it because it's people really enjoy not needing to take their trash home with them.
Yeah.
But with bike rides in general, everybody brought everything that they were going to use on the ride with them to the ride. And so technically everyone has the ability to bring it home with them, you know, afterwards. I just happen to swing in and be like, hey, I'll take it for you. So it's like, which people love. And I love that people love it. So
yeah. And you, for that kind of thing, you like specifically focus on cans, right? Like you're not doing trash, like
no,
garbage.
If I can figure out a way that isn't like I'll take everything, you know, and like make that easily digestible for folks quickly, then I might start taking like some trash. What comes to mind is there are a few vendors who come on a lot of the bike rides that will sell like sandwiches or Jello shots or, you know, stuff like that. And so I'm considering having a little section of my trailer set aside for the trash that those vendors create or like have are associated with their products, I guess. You know, not necessarily like their trash, but
I mean, the point that you raise is interesting, right? It's because like so many, I mean, all businesses, right, like are effectively involved in creating a lot of waste that they're not taking responsibility for, right? And I mean, for me, I mean, you're talking about like the little like food cart vendors or whatever, right? Those little plastic tubs they're always putting stuff in.
Little sauce things,
drives me crazy. I mean, I understand why they're doing it, but like, you know, like they make those out of paper. You know, you can buy paper ones that like are compostable. My little soapbox about that. I like desperately want to get someone who owns a food cart in here so I can like talk with them about like the business of food carting, because like I know it's not easy, but we can be better.
You know? There's probably more than you know either of us realize about like the intricacies of it.
Totally.
But I'm sure there are opportunities to change a thing here or there. For sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's smart that you focus on the cans, right? Because like that's actually one of the few places where we do hold the producer responsible, right? I mean, in a number of states, not all of them, but here in a number of states, it's like if you collect them and go take them back, then you actually get your deposit back, right? Like most people, I think maybe know that in the back of their minds, but like don't bother to like sort them and take them and all of that.
And what's 10 cents, you know?
Right. Like, but like, you know, I mean,
me.
You're like,
10 cents is great.
Yeah. And something that I've started doing like since I've started just trying to be more aware of my like waste output, right? It's like I collect my cans now. And I'll even shoot like no shame, I will pull them out of the recycling bin.
It's my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
Like well, that might be exaggerating a little bit. I find a lot of joy in elbows deep in a trash can, you know, digging through and finding recyclables because I get another 10 cents out of it, which is great. But B, it's like I'm preventing this, especially the aluminum cans, you know, I'm preventing this aluminum can from going to landfill or incinerator or, you know, wherever the trash goes, whatever municipal options there are. And it's like, I know that at least this can be recycled into a new thing. You know, recycling has a lot of issues with it, but for cans especially, it's like way less energy to infinitely recycle this can than it is to like mine the, you know, bauxite ore to process into fresh aluminum.
Right. And when you think about the pollution and the environmental damage, and I mean, I watched this documentary recently called Anthropocene. Have you seen that one? Oh my God. Like they go into sort of all of the different ways that we have just like fundamentally changed the structure of this planet. And one of the things that they show is like old mines and just like I mean, I don't want to get too dark here, but like the decimation of a landscape because of it.
It's brutal.
And it's not something that you see, so you just don't even think about it. But like watching this, I was like, oh my gosh, like we did that. Like, wow. But yeah, and then when you think about the fact that we use aluminum in so many things, and it's a finite resource. There's only so much aluminum on this planet,
For sure.
you know. And so I love that you have this joy. You're like, I saved it.
Yeah,
It gets to go back into the cycle.
Yeah.
I love that. Oh, that's so sweet. I think all of us are aware of the trash problem and the litter problem, right? Like we all walk down the streets, we all drive down the highways, we've all been to the beach, you know, we've all been on a hike and seen the stuff on the trail, right? Yeah. But most of us just walk by, and you don't. So like
sometimes.
Yeah, no, for sure. You have to have boundaries, right? Because like if you're one person and you're like, I'm gonna pick up all the trash I go by, you'll never do anything else, right? But like, nonetheless, most people just walk by. You don't. What makes you different? Like what was the thing that transformed you into that person who bends over and picks it up?
Well, the thing that inspired me from the beginning was I went in high school. My environmental science teacher, shout out Mr. Crane, he took the class on a river cleanup day. You know, little, what do they call them? Field trip.
Field trip. Yes, I loved field trip days.
Field trip. And it was like the whole class went to the Spokane River. It was where I grew up, and we just like walked along the banks in the woods, you know, around for a few hours, and it was just like hanging out with your friends, just picking up trash, seeing if you can go climb that, you know, rock to get the cup that's up there, you know, just
so fun.
Little stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I just have this memory of doing that, and it was like such a fun, satisfying like time, you know. It always kind of stuck with me. Then it opened my eyes to see, like, then I started noticing trash, you know, everywhere. And so even in my neighborhood or like at the park, it's like, oh, there's, you know, 20 pieces of trash that I can see like right now. And it's like, I don't know why, but it's, I guess I'm a compulsion to kind of pick those up. But that's what I think it stems from, is just like having an experience where you see the actual impact and how easy it can be to do a little something about it, you know.
Yeah.
And how satisfying it is afterwards, you know.
Yeah. I did that. It's cleaner now because of me. Yeah. I'm curious. I mean, and from my own experience, like, I guess as a person who has historically walked by, right? It's like, that's a shame.
Yeah.
Man, it's gross here.
Ah, bummer.
A bummer. You know, I can't believe there's so much trash. But like the past year or so, I've been riding an e-bike as like my form mode of transportation. And I have a little basket on the back. And so like, and because I'm on a bike and not in a car, you know, the street is right there.
Yeah.
You know, and so, and in addition to that, I have a Ridwell bin, but I'm just one person. So like, now, like if I see something that I can throw in my Ridwell bin, I will for sure stop.
Yeah.
Just like pop it in the basket.
That's the other part, is like just figuring out how to be like prepared enough for things that you are okay with, you know, interacting with.
Right.
You know, having just an extra plastic bag in your wallet or purse or whatever, you know, and then you're like, okay, cool, I can fill that up today, you know, while I'm out and about doing my thing. But
what's your favorite kind of plastic bag?
Well, for like litter cleanup, I have this this tote that I made.
Okay.
That's made out of let's see if I can remember, the big industrial like box bags that, you know, different companies will use. You know, they got big hoops on the outside so you can put a forklift through. Okay. And the ones that I got from a farmer who ordered supplements for their cattle. Sure. You know, so it came with like a bunch of powder in it, but like a ton of powder, you know, so you have these very industrial kind of polywoven fabric. Yeah, like that tarp material. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so I got a bunch of those from a guy a while back. I was like, what can I make out of this? And so I started like sewing and figuring out like what would actually be useful. So I made this tote bag that I basically copied the pattern from one of those Trader Joe's, reusable grocery bags. And over time, that just became my litter cleanup bag, because it's small enough that I can, throw it in my car. And if it gets full, it's not like this whole big thing that I need to, drag with me in order to deal with it. So that's my favorite plastic bag, is the one that I made.
I love that. You're like, let me tell you about how I'm reusing stuff, Queenie.
Sure, yeah.
I'm giving stuff new life and finding new functions for it. Yeah. I love that. Good for you. Do you have other sort of things that you kind of just always have on you for trash pickup?
Yes. So for right now, like, because I've been leaning into it more and more,
yeah,
I have this awesome, I think it's awesome. It's one of those hand trucks, that you use to move stuff with. I bungee corded a trash can to that. And then I have like my gloves, a sharps container, and my grabbers, and some like extra bags just like tucked in on the side of it. So now when I do my litter cleanup, days or sessions, I can just push this around and just throw a bunch of stuff into it rather than needing to carry, the whole bag as you're filling it up. So I always have that with me in my vehicle.
Wow. So, yeah. I thought you were gonna be like, I got my like little grabber thing and some gloves, and no, you're like, no, I have a whole thing.
This is to be clear, it's not that I'm like recommending everyone do this. Like,
this is your thing.
It's my thing. Yeah. I mean, you're welcome to do it as well.
Totally. Yeah. I appreciate that you mentioned the sharps container though, because so I was out in some nature recently, maybe a couple months ago, and I saw some trash and I was like, okay, like let's go pick it up because it doesn't belong there, right? Turns out it was like a bag of needles.
Yeah.
And I was pretty sure that they were unused, but I was like, okay, I don't have the proper way to dispose of this. And like now I've like committed to carrying this with me. Like this is one of those moments where like I wish I had had gloves,
For sure. Yeah, that's like my philosophy for stuff like that. It's like yes, pick up what you think you can, and that you're equipped and prepared to deal with. For sharps specifically, I just have like a Gatorade bottle, and they fit nicely in there. It has a screw-on lid. It's hard plastic, and I label it, in case anybody comes across it. Like don't mess with it.
Biohazard, yeah.
But I just take that. There's a number of sharps drop-off locations in like Central East Side is where I take mine. So there's little drop boxes. So you just dump them in there whenever you are full or are in the neighborhood.
Right.
So that's how I deal with it. I would not recommend just like picking it up and taking it with you.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to put that in the regular trash either.
No, I know.
Because folks are, all the trash workers who are, bagging all that up doesn't want to deal with it either. But
yeah, the trash workers.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Praise be.
Praise be. Yeah, I mean the people who like essentially do what you're doing, but professionally, but in a facility where the trash is supposed to be.
Sure.
Gosh, like all the sorting and stuff. I've read several articles now about recycling and so one of the reasons for this was that a couple years ago I started a Canatech company, and I was looking and specifically like focused on the battery device, and I was looking into trying to be responsible for the whole life cycle of the device. And one of the problems that I was coming into was batteries explode, right? And so or have a tendency to do so.
They can, yeah.
So you can't fly them anywhere, they have to be disposed of in this particular way, et cetera, et cetera. So I ended up reading all these articles about this and, kind of getting more insight into some of the things that these people were dealing with. And just like, I don't know, maybe this is a good sort of segue into kind of like understanding, like maybe any insights you might have into like understanding people's relationship with garbage, because I think in our culture, it's kind of just like, well, I'm done with this, whatever it is. And so now I just throw it away, and I think that that's really mirrored, or maybe that's mirroring this sort of larger thing that we spoke about earlier of, you have all these businesses and all these corporations that are effectively creating all this trash and have taken no responsibility for what happens with it afterwards. And to the extent of not even necessarily even designing it to be disposed of in any sort of reasonable way.
Yeah.
I mean, look at every plastic item. Every single piece of plastic, as far as we know, still exists somewhere and will continue to exist for hundreds of years, because that's how long it takes to break down, and like
and even the breaking down isn't like breaking down,
right?
It's just falling apart,
disintegrating into microplastics, which then cause all kinds of other
problems. Not great either.
Yeah. So I don't quite know where to go from here, but to kind of back away from maybe some of the kind of guilt trippy kind of vibe of what I just said, it's like, so when I was in college, I was the manager of the student union building. And it was like the one building on campus that was fully managed by the students. Like the students got to decide what happened there and all that, which I thought was really cool. Like, how often do you come across that, right?
Yeah.
But what often ended up happening was that because this building was managed by a college student and populated by college students, like, it was trashed.
Yeah.
And and just to go back even further, like I rose up the ranks, right? So I actually started doing kind of what you do. Was I was a cleaner, and so I would get up and I picked the weekends shifts because they paid more, because they typically had parties on Fridays, and typically people would find themselves with their can or whatever and not have a place to put it, or not have a plan, or just not think about it, and they would put it down, and then someone had to come clean it up, and that was me. And so as I was like stepping into becoming the student union manager, I'm like, okay, no more. We are changing this, new reign. And what I came to just understand was that kind of something similar to what you said, which is like, people just need a place to put stuff. Like, so the dishes, I gave them a dish bin. They put the dishes in the dish bin. Great. I gave them recycling bins. They put their recyclables in the recycling bin. Great. And that was super helpful. I don't know, but there's still just this pervasive kind of like there's like a cultural pervasive like thoughtlessness around our garbage. I don't know if you're familiar, but the EPA data suggests that something like 85% of what we send into landfill actually does not need to go there.
Yeah. I believe it.
Yeah. It's like fully a quarter, and this is maybe beyond your expertise, fully a quarter of that is just food waste.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's nuts. And then, you got glass, you have paper, recyclable, you've got plastic, also theoretically recyclable, and on and on.
Even wood, like a lot of the wood can be like, I don't know, repurposed into a lot of things.
Yes.
But you can also chip it down and like make a bunch of plywood out of it. I don't know. I don't know if that's like, that just came to mind. I don't know the science on how people do that, but
totally.
But I'm sure there's options.
Yeah.
I like the there's a few different municipal waste facilities that have like last chance stores, where people will pull out like perfectly usable things, and just have it for sale, super cheap, at the landfill itself.
Oh,
and I was like, that's a fun idea. You go and get rid of all your junk that you've been, collecting, which is a whole nother thing of how people collect all the trash in the first place. But then you can, do a little cheap shopping, for a thing that you might actually need. And feels a lot better than having to order it from Amazon or something, you know, like a bed frame, for example.
Yeah. I mean, we have so much stuff already on this planet. I've personally tried as much as I can to like stop buying new stuff just because it's like not necessary, you know. And you actually just reminded me, I've actually come across some photos of I don't know if it's a store, but like some municipal workers, and they just have like their collection of all the cool stuff that they found, you know? Yeah.
I love that.
Do they have that here in Portland?
I have no idea.
They totally should. I bet there's like amazing stuff in Arco Ridge.
I think there was an artist residency that they had. I don't know if it was here in Portland. I know they were doing it in San Francisco.
Okay.
For a long time. They probably still are. But I think I heard that a few other cities in the region had started doing that as well. It was the same sort of deal, where an artist will kind of work on site and, you know, collect their materials from the trash that's coming in.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a fun idea.
That's cool. Yeah. There's a documentary kind of about that, or a similar kind of concept that was really neat. I think it might have been called Trash, actually, but I'll link it in the show notes for anyone who wants to watch it. It was neat. Yeah. And it actually follows several trash pickers from Brazil and kind of their whole journey. Yeah. And you get to see the reality of what some of these landfills look like, and it's wild.
Yeah, on a big scale, it's like you said, like there's a lot of the things that people actually use day to day, we have enough of, you know. It's just a logistical problem to kind of figure out how to get it from the people who don't want it anymore to the people who do want it, you know. And I've always kind of had this dream of, you know, taking over a warehouse somewhere and just like collecting all the things that people are getting rid of and organizing them and cleaning them and repairing them, and then just having like a big free store. Yeah. You know, because we got so much clothing and furniture that people are leaving out, which is great. That's another side note about that. Like, I love the Portland culture of the ground scores, you know, free piles. Yeah.
I actually just had a plant. I just got a ground squirrel plant today.
That's great. Yeah, and another bonus for riding your bike is like you can actually, you know, see them and stop and pull over and, you know, dig through them a little bit.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it requires that cultural like mentality of, oh, this is being offered and I can, you know, take a look at it. Whereas if you tried that in another city that doesn't have the same like collective mentality about that, it would just like rot or just turn into trash.
Trash outside.
Yeah, trash outside again.
Like the second you put it out and it rains, then it's just trash.
Like, oh, dang it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I think the most daunting thing about committing to recycle more is figuring out what to do with it all. If it doesn't go in the recycling bin, where does it go? And suddenly it piles up and you haven't figured it out. And then it ends up in the trash anyways, because it had to go somewhere. And now you have a defeatist attitude around the whole thing. I get it. But I wouldn't leave you hanging. As you're going through your trash audit, or anytime you need a recycling answer, know that you can head to earth911.com. It's a comprehensive database of recycling facilities and services in North America. Just head to earth911.com and click Where to Recycle. There, you'll enter the item and your zip code, and it will provide you with a list of facilities and services in your area. Easy. Earth911.com also offers tons of guidance on what to do with hard-to-recycle items. And I'll just mention a few of my favorite solutions located here in Portland. New Seasons Market accepts plastic film, clear clamshells, and other PET plastics, packing peanuts, as well as those rigid plastic can carriers. James Recycling takes all kinds of hard-to-recycle plastics and styrofoam for a small fee. Free Geek accepts a wide range of technology and electronics for recycling and reuse. Way of Being on Hawthorne offers a cosmetics container drop-off. and your optometrist likely accepts contact waste for recycling. If you don't live in Portland, find and share the outlets near you. There are solutions out there. All right, let's get back into the episode.
I think that one of the reasons that we have such a cultural, I'll say, obsession or addiction with trash is because we don't see things as sacred.
Mm.
You know, it's like, oh, well, whatever, you know, but it's like, no, that thing now exists for who knows how long.
Yeah.
It took however many resources to take it. It's going to take however much resource to break it down. And like, it now exists in like this, what could be a paradise that we were given. And this is how we're kind of like choosing to interact with it, you know? And I think as people like more and more kind of come online to the sacredness of this, I think we're gonna start, and we're already doing it, right? But I think that's gonna start fading into the
I hope
background.
So.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So like now that how long have you been Trash Witch, by the way?
Technically, like Trash Witch as a character started 3 years ago.
3 years. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a pretty
almost 4 years.
Yeah. Okay, so in that time, has your sort of like worldview changed? Have you like kind of come to some new insights, or just like what have you learned about whether it be people, trash, whatever? Like, tell us.
Yeah. Like I've always kind of been interested in how the materials of our existence, you know, kind of move around. And so just thinking about like the process, it's like the water cycle, but the trash cycle.
Yes.
You know? For a long time, I was trying to like genius mode, you know, figure out, okay, what can the solution be? You know, how can we turn this into like a full circular thing? And like time and time again, I ran into different, you know, huge systemic issues that are, you know, blocking that sort of thing from happening. Which is not to say it's impossible. It's just like very difficult. And I think we're headed in the right direction in that, but I'm not the guy to figure it out, basically. Yeah. But I did really enjoy like the process of, you know, picking up trash in a parking lot or at a park or whatever. And so I kind of just like leaned into that as, you know, some of the only like labor or work that I actually enjoy doing, you know? And I know not everyone enjoys doing that, but I do, so I will, you know? I will be doing this probably until the day I die. Like, as far as trash itself goes, I have this like love-hate relationship with it.
Okay.
You know, I hate seeing it there, but I also love seeing it there because it means that I can pick it up, you know? Which is like, it's crazy, you know? Which is not to say, you know, put more trash there so I can pick it up.
Right.
You know, I'm not trying to encourage people to litter, but I personally don't mind, you know, the process of doing that. Like I truly enjoy doing it, you know?
It sounds like it's your purpose.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
So like everyone should do more to, you know, not litter, because
things would be better if people did not litter.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm trying to pick up trash myself out of being Trash Witch. You know, like if I didn't have to be Trash Witch, I'd be doing something else, you know? But I don't see that coming into fruition anytime soon. So I'm very excited to continue doing it. I've interacted with these kind of systems for long enough that for a while it was very like negative energy of, you know, looking at it and like, why do I have to do this? Why am I the only one, you know, doing this? Which turns out I'm not the only one doing this. I see plenty of people doing the same thing, which is very awesome to see. But over time, it became unsustainable to, you know, focus on that. And so it doesn't really matter how the trash got to be in front of me. I just know that it's not my job, but my job to clean it up, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, I think you know, when confronted with problems like this, like of the scale like this, I think so many people kind of see that and they're like, well, why even bother? You know,
Right.
my contribution is so small, it's not even going to make a dent. But I think, you know, the thing that people forget is like, yes, this world is vast. Yes, these problems are large, but they're still finite.
Mm-hmm.
And so you picking up that one piece of trash, you recycling that one aluminum can, that's actually eating away at the problem.
Sure.
You know, in a real tangible way. And it sounds like you have this like almost like very embodied sort of like connection with that fact, you know? And so like every time you're picking up trash, you're like, I'm helping.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, hell yeah.
Hell yeah. And I mean, that's incredible. And I would love to see more people sort of see that and feel that.
Another part of that feeling for me, of like the joy of doing it, is it's kind of a treasure hunt for me.
Yeah.
It's like seeing, because there's all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not all, you know, napkins and you know, McDonald's containers and Starbucks cups, you know.
Although it's a lot of takeout.
There's a lot of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
There's a ton of them. But there's also like little trinkets and little toys that somebody lost, or my favorite things to find are like can tabs. You know?
Yeah.
I have this whole collection of different colors and shapes and sizes of can tabs.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know why, but they're very endearing to me, you know? And so I love picking up those and finding washers, you know, just because they feel good. They're heavy enough to feel satisfying. And there's a number of projects in my life where I'm like, dang, I wish I had a washer. And now I have a whole collection of various sizes of washers that I can, I'll probably use someday.
Love that.
Not knowing what the next cool thing you're going to find is, you know, is encouraging and exciting to like do it. I'm not just doing it because I'm like, oh, better than other people for picking up trash. Like, no, I'm doing it because it's selfishly I'm doing it because I want to go find the weird stuff out there. You know?
Okay, what is the favorite thing that you found? Your favorite thing that you found?
The favorite thing, boy, I think it's can tabs. I think it's like, yeah.
Because I've seen that
There's some weird stuff too.
You make jewelry out of them.
Yeah. I make little earrings and chokers and like those pocket chains, you know?
Yeah.
Where you used to have a wallet on a chain. I found a way to chain them together, which is very satisfying because they look beefy, you know, and chunky, but they're super light because it's aluminum.
Right.
You know? I've wanted to make chainmail for a long time. And I've done a little bit, but it just is so time consuming.
I can imagine, yeah.
So I'll probably be doing little bits of that over time to make, you know, a shirt or something.
Maybe you'll get a commission or something.
Yeah.
I love stuff like that. You know, sometimes you'll see like wallets that have been made out of like, I don't know what it is, like old plastic something that clearly was like a bag, or maybe it was like a rice like bag, you know, those like they're tarp material again.
I make these little, I call them carton clutches. They're little wallets that are from like the juice cartons, you know, the square or soy milk, you know, kind of thing. There's a way where you like cut a couple places and fold it, and it folds into a wallet where it closes with the cap. What? And so you can unscrew it to open. Yeah. I love it. It's just like quirky and weird, but like it's just a fun use to, you know, for those specific pieces of trash.
Yeah, you're gonna have to send me a photo of that because I'm having a hard time imagining it, but I want to understand. I
gotta have mine. Should I grab it?
Yeah, grab it.
It's not
neat.
To be clear, it's not my design. I saw some video online.
So if I screw this
just
off,
unscrew it.
And then,
It's just got a couple of patches.
Neat.
Couple of pockets.
Oh my gosh. What a neat idea. I love that. I mean, it reminds me honestly, like, when you're a child, well, when I was a child, and maybe you were too, like this too, it's like you see like all these tubs and things that are going in the trash, and you're like, but this is a thing still. Like,
Yeah.
there's still utility
I can
here.
put my pennies in there.
Something, yeah. And, I think particularly now that we've continued like building up our stockpile of all this stuff, it's like, seeing things like that, or, people weaving bags out of whatever it is, it's like, I think more and more we're going to be like, okay, what beautiful creative things can we make out of this quote unquote trash? I mean, I had a guest a few episodes ago, and he said something really insightful, I thought, which was like, look, waste is only waste if it's wasted.
Yeah.
And his project is figuring out how to take plastic waste and recycle, reuse it, or even like make it into fuel, which is like fascinating, and honestly, like, could be the way out of like the plastic problem that we're facing. I don't know, stuff like that. I just get so excited.
Yeah.
That's just stuff.
No, I think like if people weren't able to like take their trash to the dumpster, and have it taken away. Like if people had to live with their trash for a few weeks, I think it could change a lot of things in how packaging is made and stuff. Like if you have, or even like finding creative ways to reuse it. If you have those like crinkly plastic bags, from the grocery store or something, I know that if you flatten them out and use just a clothing iron, and melt it at kind of a low temperature, you can fuse them together and it'll create this kind of durable, like cardstock type material. And you can put that through like a sewing machine and make, whatever you want out of that too. So it's like, if people had to live with their trash for a while, I guarantee we'll find ways of, making things out of our waste,
right?
For, other uses.
Yeah.
And that could, at the very least, like deal with the trash that we are interacting with on a day-to-day basis, but also it would put a lot of pressure on the manufacturers to make it in a way that is actually sustainable. Because
something I talk about in, I think it's like episode 3, is doing a trash audit. Yeah. So something that I did was, I was specifically focused on plastic because I had already started composting, I had already started doing all this other stuff, but I was like, okay, but like what plastic am I still sending to landfill? And like, I've like systematically just been like going through that list of things, and I'm like, okay, we got to find different solutions. Give me a glass bottle. Give me something else, because like I'm done like with contributing to this problem. Have you done anything like that, or sort of what's your trash situation like?
Not really. Like I live in my van,
Sure.
And so I kind of do a trash audit just by virtue of like the trash comes with me wherever I go.
It doesn't have to be like a systematic thing, but just like what's your trash situation? Like, tell me, dish for me. Like, what's your trash like?
A lot of my trash is, I don't know, food containers. There's a lot of them. Like I'll, get a drink from the corner store, and then just like that will be my water bottle for a while, Yeah, I don't know.
It's funny because it's like, honestly, it's such an odd topic to talk about.
Yeah.
I think because of what we were talking about earlier, it's like there's this cultural, like, we don't think or talk about that.
Right.
Kind of, it goes over there and whatever, right? For me, something that I noticed was that after I got my Ridwell bin, because I was already doing all this sorting for Ridwell, it brought a lot of awareness for me to what was in my garbage, you know, and that kind of naturally started prompting me to be like, okay, but like, do I need to be making all of this, whether it be plastic or whatever, right? It like snowballed for me. So it was like I focused on plastic, and then it was like, okay, what else is in here?
Yeah.
You know? And yeah, I mean, at this point, like I've been in this apartment now for just over a year now. I just use those grocery bags for my trash, and I've probably thrown out like 6 of them, you know, 6 full ones since I've been
Yeah.
here. And like most of what's in there is like those mailers that are paper and plastic.
Right. Yeah.
Please stop using those, guys. You know, I'll also get like a lot of those like produce wrap twist tie things in there. Like I know that I could probably reuse those for something, but like I just don't. So they go in the trash.
That's my toxic trait, is I'll keep like all the little I don't know, was that Simpsons or something, or Futurama? He's got a little drawer that he's like, this is where I keep my, you know, assorted lengths of wire, you know. And so I have that. I have this collection of trash items that like they are just trash, you know. And like, yeah, a lot of them could be reused in something like a little bread tie or something, but not for long. You know, it's not all that durable. But I don't know why I collect them all. You know, I've got bags of bags and boxes of boxes, and like they do get used every now and then.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it's fun.
Yeah.
That's the treasure part of it. It's
right.
Like reframing my brain of like, oh, this is just junk. It all goes in the bin. I'm like, oh, but that one's cool. You know, I'll hang on to that.
Say more about that. That's really interesting.
I mean, you just gotta be careful not to like get into a hoarding mentality of like, oh, all of this trash is useful, so therefore I need to hang on to it.
Right.
Like, really only use what you can actually use. You know, and that's good life advice no matter what, you know, whether you're talking about trash or anything. But
yes, but there's potential, there's utility, there's something, there's like, you know, you said the word treasure, right? I mean, it's really just a framing of how we're looking at it. I mean, you know, the waste is only waste if it's wasted guy, right? I mean, he's like, look, like this stuff has the potential to replace like our fuel sources.
Yeah.
That is like, and fuel is like one of the biggest industries like worldwide, you know, but we're looking at this stuff and we're saying, oh, that's trash. You know, it's just like not looking at it the same way. Right. And I think sort of you're kind of pointing to that, right? Is like, we don't have to look at it that way. There is potential and
it's all just stuff. Like stuff.
Yeah.
You know, that is based, they're all different types of materials. If we can sort those materials into different areas and be like, oh, these are all organic things that do break down. Like, yes, let's compost this 40% of our landfill and recycle what we can, or, you know, all that cardboard, like, cardboard is a really fun like building material.
It totally is.
You can make your own boxes.
Yeah.
You know, that fit your shelf perfectly. You know, and I like the aesthetic of cardboard. You know, just regular brown cardboard, but like you could paint it or cover it with some fabric to make it cute. You know, if you want.
I made art out of cardboard before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like there are ways to reuse things that, like most things, almost anything. Like the trash. That I have this weird distinction between like trash and garbage. You know, for me, like trash it feels like drier. You know? Like,
okay.
Like, it's just like all your plastic and paper and cardboard and metal, you know, in a pile. You know, like that's your trash. And the garbage is like stuff from your ashtray or your cat puked, or you know, the stuff went bad in the fridge, you know, and it's like in a plastic container that, you know, you don't want to deal with, you know, that you put all that together and it's like, oh, it's like sludge, you know.
Okay.
Like
yeah.
And so I consider the trash part of it as being like usable material that just hasn't found its like purpose yet. It's its second purpose, you know. It's like original purpose was probably to carry your food home, you know, or whatever.
Yeah.
But the garbage is like most of that is organic material that could be composted anyway, you know.
Mm-hmm. That's what makes it sludgy.
Yeah. And like there are things that like as a society we will need to figure out how to like throw away, like different toxic materials that you don't want to be like just like thrown in with the rest of it. But that actual volume of like trash that is truly trash or garbage that is truly garbage, you know, is like not that much in comparison to what we actually put in the landfill or incinerate.
Well, and I wonder if we're going to get to a point where we're like, should we be creating stuff that is quote unquote toxic?
Right.
Like, like maybe we should just retire that concept, you know, because like, you know, this is a closed system that we live in, right? And we, you know, we think like, oh, we'll just put it over there, it'll be fine. Yeah. But like, turns out it becomes a huge problem, and it also leaches out, you know. And,
and there's nuance to everything, like medical waste, you know, for example.
Yeah.
Like there is a lot of medical waste, and a lot of it can be, I don't know, repurposed maybe,
or you know, incinerated or something.
Yeah. Like just finding those things that like don't necessarily need to be toxic, you know? Because like there's chemicals and stuff that we use that are useful for their purpose that are technically toxic, but you know, if they're used properly, are not, you know, put into the system in a way that is ingested by people or animals or whatever. In my opinion, like that's okay if we can, you know, find a way of making sure that that's used properly, you know, instead of improperly.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think one thing that's kind of a theme that I've been kind of seeing come up around, I mean, all of this stuff, right, is make it fun. And, you know, maybe something that we haven't really focused on much in this episode, but, you know, if you'd like to share, you can. But, you know, something that I think you do as your persona Trash Witch is you make it fun. You know, and it's not, you're not just like, hey, here's a garbage, hey, here's a recycling bin, right? Like you're a presence, you know. It's fun to recycle with you, and you know, maybe that's just part of your magic. Well, anyways, so thank you so much for being here and just like sharing your thoughts and letting us get to know you a little bit better. If folks are sort of interested in following you, or you know, following your projects, or supporting you in any sort of way, or hiring you for events, like where can they find you?
Primarily through my Instagram, which is TrashWitchPDX.
Okay.
I also have a little buy me a coffee page, you know, if you want to throw me a few bucks, you know, I'd be happy to take your money. You know?
And I'll enjoy your coffee.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But it's the same name, buy me a coffee, TrashWitchPDX.
Okay, cool. Well, we will have those links in the show notes. And yeah, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of the New Humans for New Earth podcast. My name is Queenie. If you found this episode to be inspirational, helpful, or informative, thank you for sharing it to your social media and tagging us. Share it with your friends, your partner, a family member, or anyone that you love. If you loved this episode, thank you for leaving a review. And be sure to subscribe wherever you're listening to this podcast. This is how we grow the New Humans community and help inspire others to join us in co-creating New Earth. This world is what we make it. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next episode.